Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us for orientation. My name is Darius Tubbs, and I am the Graduate Studies Coordinator here at Stephen F. Austin State University. And I want to be one of the first people to welcome you to our university. To get us started, I would like to introduce our Dean of Research and Graduate Studies, Dr. Forrest Lane.
Thank you, Darius. I really appreciate it. Welcome to everybody. We're really glad to have you here at SFA. I know that you have a choice when picking a program to pursue your graduate education, and there are many great programs out there. I think we've got some really great programs here, but I know that you have lots of choices in that decision. And so we're glad you picked SFA. We're glad to welcome you here. I've been at SFA for a couple of years now, and I will tell you that one of the things that I have really valued and appreciated from being here is the relationships between our faculty and students. And while I think that's important at any stage in your graduate career, I think in graduate school, I think that's particularly important. And so I just say that as you're getting started, I hope that you will feel um, supported in this journey. I hope that you will find that you will have mentorship in this journey and that we're committed to making sure that you get the most out of this degree as you work towards whatever your career and professional goals are. Uh, Me personally, just to tell you a little bit about me, as Darius had mentioned, I serve as the Dean of Research and Graduate Studies here. We have a couple of things that we do in our office besides just uh, working with our graduate programs. We also support research administration. Each of your programs is different. Some of you may engage in research more or less, depending on exactly what you're doing. But for those of you in a program where maybe you're working on a thesis or you are working in labs or those kinds of spaces, you'll probably work with some of our other staff who aren't joined here, but help with a number of aspects of research administration. So just to let you know that this office is kind of the point place for both of those functional areas here at SFA. I want to really acknowledge our staff. I know you're going to hear a lot from others, and I hope that they kind of kicked it over to me first, but I'm assuming that they're going to introduce themselves at different points as we go through here. But our staff are here to help you as you have questions as you go through this process. Well, I assume all of you. I mean, maybe there's somebody who's returning here for a second master's. I don't know, but most of you this is probably your first graduate experience. And we don't expect you to know it all and to have it all figured out. I think that's part of why we want to have this orientation is to make sure that you know where to start. There's going to be other questions you're going to have along this process, and that's normal and to be expected. But we want to make sure that everyone, at least at the very beginning, has some foundation on where to go for basic questions, some things that we know students need to know as they're getting started. And we want to make sure that you have some of those resources. And we're all here, all of our staff in this office are here to help you. Sometimes we may not be the right person to answer the question because there are many other offices who support you in this journey. And that's okay. We see ourselves as a connector in that way, right? You may have a registrar question, but that's okay. Call our office or email or however you reach out, and we'll make sure that you get to the right place. You should always feel that you are welcome to call here. You're not burdening our office. We're here to serve you, and I mean that sincerely. So I hope that you will never hesitate to reach out. Before I kind of kick it back over to our staff, I just want to maybe share this a little bit. As you return to graduate school, our students in graduate school are all across the board in terms of where they are in life. We have some people who are coming to us right out of undergraduate, and maybe they are what you might call a traditional age graduate student. We have people who return to graduate school in their 50s and 60s, and I'm pretty sure I've even seen a 70-year-old out there. So we have people across the lifespan. That also means we're working with adults who are dealing with life and life challenges. And so I want you to know that as you go through this journey, that we know that you will need support not just in your academic curriculum, but in helping you just navigate life so that you can complete this important milestone in your journey. And I really sincerely hope that you will never hesitate to reach out. Sometimes we might have to come up with a creative solution on how to support you. But whatever you go through while you are in your graduate studies here at SFA, please know that there is nothing we haven't seen or haven't heard. Uh, but I want you to know that you would not have been admitted here if we didn't think you were going to be successful. So we're excited to have you, and I really hope that as you begin this journey, that you you get everything that you need and that you reach out to us at any point. And again, I just want to say welcome. It really is a privilege to have all of you here, and we're glad to welcome you to SFA. And I hope for those, if you're not in Nacogdoches and not here on campus all the time, I hope that you will visit here and that we'll get a chance to meet you in person if you happen to be in one of our online programs, because we really do have a wonderful campus and a lot of great things going on. So with that, I'm going to turn it back over to you, Darius. I don't know kind of who is going next here, but thank you.
Thank you for that warm welcome, Dr. Lane. Next, we're going to have Mackenzie, our graduate studies advisor, graduate academic advisor.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for being here with us today. So like Darius said, my name is Mackenzie. I'm the graduate academic advisor. I mostly work with the admission side. I do applications, help with the process, those types of things, do recruiting as well. So for the most part, you've kind of passed me. If you had trouble with your application or questions, I was probably the one to help you. I also work on things like concentrations, if you have substitutions, issues with your program of study, anything like that, I can certainly help with that as well. So yeah, I'm happy to see you all here. Please feel free to reach out, like Dr. Lane said. We may not have all the answers, but we can certainly point you in the right direction and get those answers for you. So yeah, here's my contact information if you ever need to reach out. I have my personal email, and I also run the general G School email as well. Also my phone number. So anytime, I'm here to help.
Thank you, Mackenzie. As I stated, my name is Darius Tubbs. I'm the Graduate Studies Coordinator. I am a proud SFA alum. I graduated in 2013 with my bachelor's in English, and I am a current graduate student, and I should be graduating this May. I'm very excited for a master's in curriculum and instruction. And this is my third year working here at Stephen F. Austin State University. My role in orgs, I am all about supporting our graduate students here on and off campus. And I support our students by doing things like coordinating workshops, orientations like this one that you are attending, and professional development opportunities to support graduate students' academic growth, personal growth, as well as career growth. I assist with this thesis and dissertation process from the beginnings of it until the end of it. So if you have questions in that realm, feel free to reach out to me. I am also privileged to be able to facilitate the 3-minute thesis competition here on campus, where we have graduate students presenting their theses and dissertations in 3-minute, like bite-sized pieces. And that's a very, very exciting competition that we host here at SFA, and our winners go on to regional competitions. And the other thing that I do is I provide one-on-one support. I can answer questions, I can troubleshoot, and I can offer guidance for any questions that you all may have. As Dr. Lane said, and as Mackenzie echoed, I'm going to say the same. I might not have all the answers, but I can certainly get you to the person who will have those answers for you. And here is my contact information. I am here every day from about 7:30 to 3:30. And my email address is darius.tubbs@sfasu.edu. And if you are on the thesis or dissertation track, then I also run the theses and dis at sfasu.edu email address. And if you ever feel the need to come and visit me, I'm on the fourth floor of Liberal Arts North. As soon as the elevator doors open, you are kind of staring into my office. So I am very, very easy to find. Thank you all. And next, we will have a financial aid presentation by LaShanda Parkhurst.
Hi, welcome to SFA. We're happy to have you here. As he said, I'm in the Office of Financial Aid and Scholarships. So I'm just going to give you a brief overview of what that looks like here at SFA. Okay, we'll just briefly go over your eligibility, your cost of attendance, the type of aid we offer, your enrollment status, CPOS, as Mackenzie's already mentioned, your program of study, and satisfactory academic progress and what that means for you here at SFA. So the first thing that we need you to be aware of is that for financial aid to credit your bill, you have to be enrolled in at least 6 credit hours that count on your degree plan. So your courses have to be on your degree plan going towards your graduation in order for us to pay financial aid for those courses. You do have to be a U.S. citizen or an eligible non-citizen, and you do have to be degree seeking. So if you're just taking prerequisite courses or audit courses, something like that, then those don't count for financial aid purposes. So just be aware of that. We do need your FAFSA. So if you haven't done one for this academic year, we are still offering aid for this spring term. You can submit your FAFSA on studentaid.gov. I do have to have your FAFSA in order to offer you any type of aid, including grant money. So I won't be able to see what you're eligible to receive until I have that information. So fill out the student demographics side. All the information for your financial information will come directly from the IRS. So make sure that you sign and consent for that information to be transferred to your FAFSA. And then make sure our school code is on it. So SFA will get it and sign and submit it. And it usually takes about 3 to 5 days for us to get it, which I think might be on the next slide. But let's see. Yes, so 3 to 5 days for processing, and then it's usually about a week before we receive it. But that's okay. We do still offer financial aid packages throughout the semester. So even if you haven't gotten a financial aid package right now for the spring, we can still offer you aid. That's not an issue. But just be aware that your bill is due. So we'll have to get more information from Hillary, who's going to be next. She'll tell you how to take care of your bill. And then you're going to be notified on your MySFA account. Once we receive a FAFSA, you will then get a financial aid tab on your MySFA. And that will let you know if we need further documentation from you or if you have a pending award package that needs to be reviewed. So your cost of attendance varies. So each student on campus, whether they're a graduate student or an undergraduate student, has a financial aid budget, but that is just an estimated cost of attendance that the Department of Education tells us we have to give to every student on campus, just to have an idea of what it may cost to attend school for the academic year. As you can see on the screen, the cost of attendance is an estimate and includes items that you may not need. Like someone mentioned, you may be in one of our online programs, so you won't be living on campus and have housing and food charges. You may not travel back and forth to campus, so you wouldn't have a travel charge. Those are things that are not billable items necessarily for you. So you're that estimated $25,494 for the academic year may not apply to you because you may not have some of those items. The actual billable cost in that whole list are your tuition and fees. So for a full-time student as a graduate, that's about $8,096 for the academic year. So your cost will vary depending on how many hours you're taking and things like that. But for any that do live, we do have some graduate students who live on campus. You will have that housing charge and a meal plan charge, things like that. So really your bill is going to depend on your situation. So we do offer grants and loans and of course scholarships. Our scholarship application is currently open for the next academic year for 2026-27. It is closed for this academic year, so we don't have any general funding from the general scholarship application, but it is available on your MySFA account. And the deadline for that for the next academic year is February 1st. So I do advise all of my students to submit an application. Just make sure you meet that deadline. Now, I kind of skipped work study. It is on here, and we do have some graduate students that get work study, but some of you, like with the online program and things like that, it wouldn't apply to you. So, but we do have some that are eligible for work study. It just depends on the FAFSA information and if you qualify for it, and if you've been hired to work in a different department. So if you are interested in that, you can always contact our office and we can check on that for you. So again, I skipped ahead on myself, I guess. The scholarship application is on the Apply for Scholarship Opportunities link on your MySFA account. If you have any issues submitting it, for some reason there's a glitch or you can't get reference letters uploaded or something like that, please feel free to contact our office and we can work through that for you. We don't accept applications after February 1st, though, so make sure you get that in before the deadline. For graduate students, I get this question all the time, so I've put it in my my presentations just so everybody hears it from me. Enrollment qualifications for graduate students to be considered full-time, you have to take 9 credit hours or more. Half-time is considered 6 to 8 credit hours, and less than half-time is 5 hours or less. So just there's sometimes confusion on that. Your half-time at 6 to 8 hours, okay? And then, as I mentioned before, the course program of study. If you have any issues with that, and you haven't gotten with Mackenzie or someone to get it fixed for you, 4 emails are sent out during the semester to let you know that there is an issue. So, oh, so sorry about that. If you do get an email, make sure that you contact Mackenzie or someone, your academic advisor, to make sure that they check that. I send the email notification to let you know that there's an issue, but I can't actually fix that course for you. The advisor and the registrar's office typically work together to either make that substitution or change that concentration or things like that. So if you get that notice, make sure that you stay on top of it so we can get that fixed for you. Financial aid will not disperse if there's an issue with your program. So make sure that those courses are counting. We do freeze your enrollment about 4 weeks after the semester starts. So what that means for you is that if you have get about that far into the semester and you decide you want to drop a course and I've already frozen enrollment, nothing will happen to your financial aid package. That also goes the opposite way. If you add a class after we freeze enrollment, I can't give you more financial aid. The only thing the reason I mention this is because there are consequences for students who completely withdraw even after that freeze date. So if you completely withdraw from your classes and you're no longer enrolled, we do have to calculate your financial aid to see if you're eligible to keep all of that aid or if I have to send some of that back. So check with us before you withdraw, which I hope none of you do. I hope you all stay in all of your classes. But I just like to mention that just so you're aware of how we do things. And then your satisfactory academic progress for graduate students, you have to earn 67% of all the hours that you have attempted. You have to have a GPA of a 3.0 or higher. And so sorry, I've been talking all day, so my voice is kind of going. So sorry. Maximum hours allowed for graduate students is 150% of your program length, which is typically a 36-hour program. So that leads us to a max hours of 54 hours, depending on which program you're in. It could be a little bit less and it could be a little bit more, but we put all that information on tables in the background that you guys don't see, but we see and we monitor that. And I send email notification. I say they come from the financial aid office. I'm just the one pushing the buttons. So if you get an email notification saying you're you're having an issue, you can contact me. I can let you know what the issue is. But it could be either or, max hours, the GPA, or the pace of completion. We do monitor all three, and we do that at the end of every semester here at SFA. So in May, at the close of the semester, once grades are finalized, then I will send notification and let you know if if you have any issues with your SAP status. Okay. This is our contact information. We do have we have some people that answer the phone for us at that 2403. But if you have any direct questions, CPOS or anything like that, you can always ask for me. Again, my name's LaShanda, and I'll be happy to help you. We're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and you'll see our email and where we're located. I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have. If you want to give us a call or send us an email or anything like that, I'll be happy to help you.
Thank you so much for that information,
Yeah.
LaShanda. I appreciate you for being here with us today.
Yeah, thank you.
Next, we will have Hillary Parrish with the Student Business Services. Take it away, Hillary.
Good afternoon. My name is Hillary, and I'm with Student Business Services. And I will start with bills for spring typically come out around the beginning of December, and today is our payment deadline. And so if you have questions about your payment or anything related to bills, I can definitely stay on this Zoom for a few minutes afterwards and answer questions in the chat. Or I'll also put up our contact information at the end. But there is a billing page in my SFA where you can click Pay Your Bill. One of the really cool things about our billing is that you can send an authorized user a link where they can log in and also see your billing information. They will not see your grades or anything like that. So this is like a parent, a grandparent, aunt, uncle, someone that might be helping with your billing, or someone that you might want them to be able to see your billing as well, or help with your payment plan or something like that we'll talk about on another slide. Your FERPA is also separate from your authorized user, but also very important if you have someone that you want to be able to call in or email about your student account. This is something you would go in to your MySFA and go to your academics tab and sign up for. You would assign a password and share the password with whoever you would add or whoever you want to add to your FERPA. You don't have to, but say you have a parent or grandparent that you want to be able to call in and get information about your student account, you would want to add them to your FERPA because we're going to ask for that FERPA password. Alrighty, so typically financial aid is dispersed about a week before classes start. Here in this office on the second floor of Austin, we take cash, check, and debit cards, but on your e-bill online, you can pay with electronic check, debit card, or credit card. If you need to, wait a bit to pay that first payment or not pay your bill in full perhaps right away, then you might want to do a short-term loan. In order to do that, you'll need a payment plan. And the short-term loan is due back within 60 days. There is a 1.25% fee on it, and it will hold your courses while you are um, waiting for, whatever type of payment, maybe a 529 check or financial aid. And you can also do a payment plan. Payment plans break your payments into 4 payments, and we'll talk a little bit more about those on the next slide. And there's 2 types of payment plans. There's aid applied first and aid applied equally. The aid applied equally plan will split your payments into 4 equal payments. And the aid applied first plan will take your financial aid and apply it to your first payments and push the payments that you have to pay back towards the end of the semester. Things that are not included in the plan are parking citations and return checks, and you must re-enroll each semester, and there's a non-refundable fee of $25 to sign up each semester for the payment plan. You are able to schedule your payments, but it's not required. So refunds are usually a hot topic each semester. Everybody wants to know when they'll receive their refund. So we kind of do those in 2 different sections. We start with cash advances up to $1,000, and cash advances are actually going to start processing on the 15th of January, and then regular refunds will start on January 26th. Make sure that you're signed up for Bank Mobile. The email that you initially received from Bank Mobile kind of looks like spam, so if you deleted that and need another code, please email our office, and our email will be at the end of this presentation. It does contain a personal code so that you can sign up. It's going to ask you to insert your birthday, and you're going to insert that with no slashes or dashes. So the example here is January 1st, 2005. So that's going to be 010105. It's going to ask you to select a preference for your bank, and you can set up a Bank Mobile account, or you can use your regular bank account, like your home bank. Refunds will show up as a charge on your bill, and if you have a negative balance on your bill, that means you are currently due a refund. And then refunds are distributed every week, starting about 2 weeks after the semester. But like I said, we're going to start those on the 26th of January. And then refunds are sent out each Thursday, and give them about 3 to 5 business days to process. All right, so just a couple of miscellaneous things. We do recommend that you check your e-bill and your email often, as well as your billing due dates and payment plan due dates. Also in our office, we process TWC and Hazelwood, as well as 1098Ts. Those will go out on January 31st. One other thing is we hope you don't withdraw or drop, but we do recommend these 3 offices for sure to reach out to financial aid, registrar, as well as our office, as well as your advisor. And then here's our contact information. Please note that our office is open till 4:30 so that we can process at the end of the day. And then we want to make sure that everyone knows that we're a small office. We are here to serve and help each student. We want you to feel like you can email us. And I'm not sure, I thought our email address was on here. I see that it's not. So I will actually say our email address is sbs@sfasu.edu. I apologize, it's not on here. I really did think it was. But do please reach out to us. We know that the payment process can be confusing. Thank you for putting it in the chat. It can be confusing, and we are here to help. So please don't hesitate to reach out to us.
Thank you so much, Hillary. I appreciate that presentation. Next, we're going to have Jessica Wagesback with the Health and Wellness Hub resources.
Hi, Darius. I'm here.
Hi, Jessica.
Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to get I had my screen all done and then I got all burned off. Okay. Now I'm going to turn off my video just so it helps. Okay.
Sure.
So I am Jessica Wagesback. I am the program director for student well-being over at the Health and Wellness Hub. So welcome to each of you here at the Health and Wellness Hub. We definitely know that graduate school is challenging and that your well-being really is essential to your success while in the program. So the Health and Wellness Hub is here to support you. Really kind of why it matters. We know between balancing academics and work, life can be extremely stressful. And so we really want to make sure that all of our SFA students are well versed in what resources and services are available to you. So our resources are designed to help you thrive, not really just survive, but during your entire career here at SFA. So we have many different program areas within the Health and Wellness Hub. And so I've kind of broken these down because we are one full department just with many areas within it. So the first one I'll cover is going to be counseling services. So counseling services is a offers free confidential counseling. The types of counseling that it does offer, things such as individual, group, as well as crisis support. So say you have not seen a counselor before and you would like to start meeting with a therapist. And we do offer walk-in timeframes every Monday through Friday from 2 to 3 p.m. But say Monday through Friday from 2 to 3 o'clock just does not work for you. As long as we are open, which our hours are Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. You can always call to schedule an appointment. So that's a good move if those walk-in timeframes do not work for you as a first-time client for the counseling side of the building. Again, this is a free service to all SFA students, but say you find yourself in crisis. And that's going to look kind of different depending on the individual. You do not have to wait for the walk-in time frames or your actual scheduled appointment to meet with a counselor. So if you find yourself in crisis or you have another student in one of your classes that you feel is in crisis, please walk them over to the building. Let the front staff know that that individual is in crisis, and we will kind of get them through the process. Or if it is after hours or the individual cannot safely get to the building, you can always call our main hub line number, press 1, and that will get you directly in contact with a crisis counselor to speak with. The next area that is kind of tied to counseling services, but it is also another free service, is something called Timely Care. Timely Care is a virtual support system for your mental health, emotional health needs. Timely Care is a 24/7, 365 days a year program for you. So whether or not you need to speak with a counselor at midnight because you are just a night owl, or you like to speak to someone at 4 o'clock in the morning, or it is we just got over winter break and a lot of our students went back home or were on various vacations and they need to meet with a counselor. you can utilize Timely Care. Again, Timely Care is a free service, and you can schedule to meet with your counselor. You can shop for your counselor based off of gender, ethnicity, background, experience. And this is just kind of another great supplement for students who maybe they don't find their fit within the in-person counseling services side. But they really thrive much better with the Timely Care side. And to utilize Timely Care, you'll download the app and register with your SFA email. The health clinic of our building. So our health clinic is very much like your kind of your general family doctor that you would have back home. We are not set up for emergency situations. So x-ray machines, things like that, we do not have in-house. Our clinic offers routine checkups, preventative care, as well as immunizations. So one of the calls that we are receiving very commonly right now are meningitis shots, which is something that we do offer. But routine checkups, well, woman exams, you wake up sick, because everyone is now back on campus, you can utilize the health clinic. Our hours are Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. And so a lot of times we get students that say, hey, I really want to see one of your providers. What do I do? What are my options? You can either call that same 468-4482 number, which is 4Hub, and call to schedule an appointment, or you can walk in as long as we are open, which is Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. You can come in as a walk-in student. You do not have to have an appointment. Now, appointments are easier. But sometimes you can't go and plan that you suddenly wake up on Thursday morning feeling ill. Things that you do want to make sure to bring are your SFA and your insurance card, or we also do uninsured. To see the providers, there is no cost to see them. So whether or not you're insured or uninsured, there is no cost, there's no copay. The only thing that does cost are labs, so flu, strep, immunizations, things of that nature. And then lastly, one of the things that we get asked commonly are, hey, I have a doctor back home. Can I start seeing the providers here, Miss Bonnie, Miss Fran, and can they write a prescription? One, Miss Bonnie or Miss Fran has to see you first. They cannot just write a refill prescription. But two, one medication that I know they cannot prescribe are controlled substances, which are ADHD medication, that you would have to see a provider in the Nacogdoches community. Care navigators. So our care navigator, which is a party of one here, they connect you to the resources for academic and personal challenges. So whether or not it's housing, financial aid, or other campus services, they're going to definitely connect you with what is available to you. So how you get connected with a care navigator. So say you're concerned about another SFA student's behavior, you can complete something that we call an I-Care report. That is completed online. It is fully anonymous. So if I complete one on Darius, Darius does not know that Jessica completed one on them. Concerns could look like absences, hospitalizations, mental health, or others. And really, a lot of these times, these concerns that you have for another student or even yourself, they have definitely started impacting the student's success at SFA, or you think, you know what, this could definitely impact their success in the future. And so I don't want them to get to that point. So I'm going to go and connect them. I'm going to go and fill out an I-Care report to be proactive, if you will. Our well-being coaches. So our coaches focus on goal setting, as well as building healthy habits to really keep you on track and feeling your best. Whether or not that is with your physical well-being, your emotional, your spiritual, we definitely touch on all areas of your overall health. We are there to help you set better priorities that make sense for you. And it is not a one size fits all. So what works for Darius may not work for Jessica, and so on and so forth. So they're going to be priorities that fit you and fit your needs and help you work towards success. Most commonly, what we assist students on are time management. I have all these things. I don't know how to approach it. Stress management, improving sleep, being active. I'm stressed out and I don't know what's going on. I also want to get a little bit more involved in on campus, but I don't know how to approach that. And so our well-being coaches can go and assist you with things of that nature. And then lastly, also alcohol and other drug needs. So whether or not you have noticed behavior is impacting you in a negative way, you want to quit, you want to learn how to get past it, you can also meet with a well-being coach. Our lumberjack pantry, so all SFA students are eligible for the lumberjack pantry. So we offer things such as your perishable and your non-perishable items. So your dry goods, canned goods, as well as your cold and frozen. Also in addition, we do offer a set number of hygiene items and baby need items. So we do know that sometimes students, the cost of just general things has skyrocketed, and that can be pretty difficult when you're trying to go through school and pay for your basic necessities. And so you can go and utilize the Lumberjack Pantry. We have a system called Pantry Soft, where you create an account and you can go shopping with your points. If you live on campus, you receive 50 points a month. If you live off campus, you have 100 points a month. And these points do not roll over, so you can't kind of hoard them until the end of the semester, but you can use them as needed. So if you were to create your account today, it is traditionally the next business day that your account has the points in it, and then you go shopping online for the needs for the food and hygiene items that you have, as well as maybe there's suddenly you find yourself pregnant or have other needs for baby needs, we do have available to you. So please utilize it. I cannot stress that enough, that it is there for you. The only qualification is you are an SFA student. And then lastly, if you wanted to connect with the hub, you can get a hold of the hub through all of the same email address, website, and telephone numbers. So our main line, which is 936-468-4HUB, which stands for 4482 to get to our main line. You can also visit us on our website to get all of the information that I've covered, as well as even more information, sfasu.edu/thehub. And then our general email address is thehub@sfasu.edu. So if you need more information and you're not too sure where to go, send an email, give us a call, and we will make sure to get you connected with the programs and services that you do need to get connected with.
Thank you so much for that information, Jessica. I really appreciate it. Hopefully our students will utilize some of these invaluable resources. Next, we will hear from Jonathan Helmke. He is the director of the Ralph W. Steen Library, and he wants to give us some information about the library resources.
Thank you, Darius. I'm going to share my screen here so you can see the library's website here. I'm just going to pull it up here. I want to welcome everyone to SFA here. My name is Jonathan Helmke. I'm the director of the library here. There's several resources that I want to point out today for you to use in terms of the library resources. We provide several services, including resources for what you're taking in classes. For example, your professor wants to have you find, let's say, 3 scholarly articles. How would you find those articles for your projects, papers, presentations? And so we provide resources in terms of those classes that you need resources for. We also provide spaces here in the library if you want to study. So I'm going to first talk about the research part. So the screen that you're seeing is the library's website. It's sfasu.edu/library. Also, I'm going to post that in the chat here. That is the library's web address, sfasu.edu/library. Once you get to that page here, you'll get to this page here. So if you notice in the middle there, there's a search box here. That's where you access the articles, an ebook. It could be a physical book that we have here at the library you can access. So those are very important in terms of your classes, but also if you're working on your dissertation, your theses, we also provide other resources to help you with those projects. So that's the major part of what people use in terms of the library is our electronic resources. Now, if there is a physical book that you need to find, it's not available electronically, we can mail those books to you if you're off campus. So feel free to ask us if you have questions about, for example, a book, an article that you need. Also, we provide streaming videos through our Canopy service and through our other databases. So we provide the ebooks, the articles, the stream videos, and we provide all those things. So that's our search box here. Also on our website, you'll see this search and find here. Under the search and find, you'll notice that link underneath there, you'll see interlibrary loan. And so a lot of our graduate students use our interlibrary loan service also to get articles, for example, from Texas A&M, from UT Austin, any of the schools here in Texas or all across the country. We can provide resources to you if we don't have it here in our collection, either electronically or in print. We can get from another library. So we can also use our interlibrary loan service. If you click the search and find button there too, you'll get to this screen here. And this is where you can access all our resources through these various, I call our subject hubs. For example, underneath, for example, education. If you click the education, we do have quite a few guides that talk the various areas that you can access our resources by subject. So if you're in educational leadership, if you're in secondary education, also if you notice our graduate student toolkit is there too. So you can access all our resources through these guides by subject area. So that is usually where a lot of our students will access information through our guides here on that search and find also too. Also, we just started this year. We do provide, along with our stream media, we provide also audiobooks through our streaming service where you can access books through audiobooks. So let's say you're reading Good to Great by James Collins there. That book, we need to provide an audio version of that too. So if you're interested in that, please let us know. Also, we provide those services through our website. Along with our resources, that includes our electronic articles, our books, and so forth, we also provide space here for study. We do have, if you notice, we're here, where I'm circling here is this reserve a study room. So if you're in, if you want to use our space, feel free to reserve study rooms. We have 22 of them here in the building, library building that you can reserve. Also, we have plenty of space, our other open areas where you can work as a group or you can work, study individually. So a lot of people use our study spaces here in the library. So feel free to use the study rooms along with our open areas that we have. You can use in terms of spaces here in the library. Another thing I want to mention is our Ask a Librarian. That is in the bottom corner here. It says Ask a Librarian. You can ask your question anytime. So let's say it's 2 o'clock in the morning and you're working on a project and you realize that you need to access certain resources, but you're not too sure how to ask for that. You can post your question and we'll respond back the next morning. Or if you're working on a weekend, on a Saturday, and you want to post your question, we will respond back to you that next Monday. You can post any questions. It could be about research. It could be about statistics. It could be about if you need to access certain resources for a project. You can ask your question right here. It's called the SteamBot. You can post your question here. And if we're online during that time, it'll say a librarian's available. If we're not, you can post your question and we'll respond the next business day. And so feel free to ask any kind of questions, and we'll respond back to you. Also, if you want to also post your question there, but you want a physical question, you can also ask us in person. We have the library services desk that's on the first floor there. You can ask there for that too. Also, our telephone number here, if you scroll down, is right here, 936-468-1497. You can also call us if you have questions about anything. And then you can see us also at the library services desk. So you can ask questions virtually, but along with our phone number here. You can visit us in the library here if you have questions about study spaces, about resources, about, or if you're looking for something for your projects, feel free. Now, last thing I want to talk about is textbooks. We do get some questions about the library carries textbooks. There are some we do carry, so you can always check with us about let's say one professor asks you to get a certain textbook. You can check with us to see if the library has a copy. It really depends on the subject area and also the area. But you can always ask us if there's questions about textbooks. Now, we only carry a few of them, not a lot, but there are some textbooks that faculty do require that we do carry here in the library electronically or in print. So feel free to ask us about that if you have questions about textbooks, about any kind of resources you need for your classes. Well, thank you again for allowing me to speak with you today. If you have any questions about, one last thing I want to mention here is on our website, we have the Lumberjack Learning Commons there. We do have a makerspace here. I want to highlight those two areas, is the makerspace. We do offer spaces for physically here if you're working on a project dealing with 3D printing, but also other areas. We do have the makerspace. Also, we have the ARC, the Academic Assistance and Resource Center. And that's also included in the library here. And that includes our tutoring, but also our writing piece. And so writing help. And so feel free to contact them if you have questions about Makerspace, but also the tutoring too. And they will ask you any questions about that. So thank you again for, I hope you have a great start to the semester here, and welcome to SFA.
Thank you so much for that presentation, Director Helmke. I appreciate it. Our next presenter, unfortunately, could not be here in person today. This is Dr. Cindy Kilpatrick, and she is the director of the Center for Teaching and Learning. So in lieu of sharing a presentation, she created a video for us. So I'm going to go ahead and show that. And if for whatever reason you can't hear it, please let me know in the chat and I will address it.
I'm Cindy Kilpatrick. I'm the director of the Center for Teaching and Learning here at SFA. And I just want to take a few minutes to share with you how the Center for Teaching and Learning can help support your success as grad students here at SFA. So today we're going to talk about 3 specific ways that the Center for Teaching and Learning can support you as a grad student. We're going to talk about Brightspace support and training, and then I'm going to talk to you about several different areas of specific instructional support that the CTL provides. And then finally at the end, I'm going to mention language support, and of course I'll provide you with contact information and other important information along the way. So let's start by talking about Brightspace support. So just to clarify, Brightspace is our learning management system, or we call it an LMS. You might not be familiar with Brightspace as a new grad student. You may have been on another campus that used a different LMS, maybe something like Canvas or Blackboard or Moodle or something like that. There are a number of different LMSs out there, but here at SFA, our LMS is called Brightspace. And as a student, you might be new to Brightspace and you may have questions. You may need to figure out how to do things in Brightspace. Even if you're used to using an LMS. If you're a more non-traditional student, you haven't been in school in a few years, you might not be used to using an LMS at all. And our Brightspace support office can help you learn how to use Brightspace effectively on the student side. In addition, our Brightspace support office provides support for the instructional side of Brightspace. So we help teaching assistants and instructors learn how to do things better in Brightspace. So this might be something like creating announcements or creating assignments or creating assessments or grading any of those things, right? Or we also help instructors figure out ways to better organize their information and disseminate course materials to their students. And this doesn't matter if you're teaching a face-to-face class or an online class, or if you're a student in a face-to-face class or an online class. Our Brightspace support office is here to help you. Basically, we offer help for generally any issues or questions that you might experience specific to our LMS. If you want to reach the Brightspace support office, there are two easy ways to do that. There are additional ways, but I'm going to give you the two easy ones. So the first way is simply to email D2L. Brightspace and D2L are basically the same thing. So sometimes we call it Brightspace, sometimes we call it D2L, but the email is d2l@sfasu.edu. If you email D2L, one of our support team members will respond to you and answer the questions that you have, or they'll set an appointment for you to be able to talk to them one-on-one. Another easy way to get in touch with Brightspace is simply to call them. So our campus extension is 1919. So from any campus phone, you can just dial 1919 and you're going to get Brightspace support. If you are using your cell phone or you're off campus, then the full number is 936-468-1919. Give us a call. Our office is open from 8 to 5 and somebody will answer the phone, or you can leave a message and somebody will call you back and help you figure out how to use Brightspace effectively, no matter if it's on the student side or if it's on the instructor side. So Brightspace support is one way that we support students and instructors here at SFA. Now, we realize that because some of you are new to Brightspace, you might need to learn more about it. And this semester, we are offering 2 specific workshops that will be helpful to you if you are going to be an instructor in Brightspace this semester. If you are only going to be a student and you're not going to be a TA who is entering anything in Brightspace for a professor, or you're not going to teach a class yourself, I do not recommend that you take this workshop. But if you're going to actually be teaching a course as the instructor of record, or if you're going to be working as a TA for a professor who is going to expect you to be able to help with Brightspace, I recommend 2 specific workshops for you. So one of them is coming up on January 21st. It is called Brightspace Express Foundations 1, and it will lay the foundation for you to be able to do core tasks in Brightspace as an instructor. Following up on that, on February 4th, we have Brightspace Express Foundations 2, and this is basically a continuation of the first course, focusing on different aspects of things you can do in Brightspace. So if you are a new instructor in Brightspace and you need to know now how to do stuff in Brightspace, these 2 workshops are going to be ideal for you. Both of those will be online, and they are taught by Laura Osborne. Her email is osbornel@sfasu.edu. And if you are interested in either one of those workshops, email her directly and she will help you sign up, or she will send you a link to join those workshops. So that's aspect number 1, is we support our campus community by providing Brightspace support. But another thing that we do, in addition to workshops just about Brightspace is that we provide all kinds of teaching and learning support for the campus. We offer numerous development sessions throughout the year. Generally, we try to offer about one every week on different types of topics. This semester in particular, hot topics that we're offering sessions on are related to AI and accessibility, particularly within our Brightspace shell. So our schedule is almost ready, and if you let me know that you'd like a copy of the schedule, I am happy to email you one as soon as we have it completed. So a couple other things that we do in addition to development sessions throughout the year is that we offer observation and mentoring to build your instructional skills. So in this case, you might contact me or another member of the CTL. We would come to a class that you're teaching, and then we would give you some feedback, and we would help you change a few things that you're doing to become a better instructor. If you're thinking after grad school, you want to actually become a professor or a teacher, then taking advantage of observation and mentoring through the CTL would be a really great idea for you. We also offer an online instructor certification. So yes, we focus some on face-to-face teaching, but we also focus some on online teaching. And we have a 10-week online instructor certification that we typically offer almost every semester. And again, that is run by Laura Osborne, who also teaches those Brightspace Essentials courses. And if you email her directly, she can get you signed up for that course. As a grad student, you do need your advisor to let us know that they agree that it's a good time for you to take that course. Sometimes in your very first semester, things are crazy, and it might not be the best time to add an additional course on top of your academic courses. So we ask that you talk to your advisor and you make certain that it's the right semester to take that online instructor certification if you're interested in that. Now, in addition to that, we offer what we call our College Teaching Essentials Certificate. So this is a certificate that is built especially for people who are new to teaching, as many grad students are. And we created this to offer a foundation in essential knowledge for teaching in higher education, because many grad students finish their graduate program and they go on to teach at a college or a university. And we want to help you build your skills so that you're comfortable and knowledgeable about teaching when you finish your graduate program. So this certificate has 3 main requirements. So one of them is that you need to attend 4 workshops at the CTL that are focused on helping people build their teaching skills. We generally every semester will say, here are the courses you can take that count toward this certificate. One of them, for instance, this semester we're offering on February 18, and it's called Strategies for Streamlined Grading. I've heard over the course of my career from so many grad students who talked about how difficult it was to manage the grading load and to learn how to grade effectively and give good feedback. And so this workshop on February 18th will focus specifically on helping new instructors learn to be more effective in feedback and grading. So that's one requirement. Another is that you have to complete a professional portfolio and that you are required to complete a portfolio consultation with someone at the CTL. We'll give you feedback on the different pieces of your portfolio and help you improve those so that they are more ready for you when you graduate and you're ready to go out and look for a job, particularly if you're looking for a job in teaching and learning. Okay. Generally, you can complete this certificate in a year, but of course it depends on your academic workload and how much else you have going on outside of your courses. If you're interested in this certificate, I encourage you to just email me directly. Let me know if you have any questions or ask me to sign you up for it. My email is cynthia.kilpatrick@sfasu.edu, and I would be so excited to help you get started with that certificate. You can start that certificate at any point. Even if you're a new grad student, you could take that workshop on February 18th, and then for 4 semesters, you could take 1 workshop each semester, and you can spread it out over 2 years in a program, or even longer if you chose to. So the College Teaching Essentials Certificate is another offering that we have. If instead of attending live workshops, you are more interested in self-paced kinds of things, we also offer students, grad students, the opportunity to complete the AQ Effective Teaching 101 course. AQ is the Association for College and University Educators, and it is not an SFA unit. It is a separate entity that is nationally recognized for college teaching. Many of our faculty take other AQ courses, and this course in particular is built for new instructors or people who are teaching in new places, or people who want to redesign some things as they start the semester. Maybe they taught already and they want to improve how the semester starts. So this is kind of a jump start to help you start the semester strong. It will teach you 5 specific evidence-based practices that you can use from day 1 in your course to help make your class more effective for your students. But it is all online, and it is all self-paced. Once you join the class, you have 6 months to complete it. You'll have access to it for 6 months. So if you're going to be teaching a class this semester, you can sign up right now. It'll take you about 5 to 8 hours to go through the course, but it can make a huge difference in how that course goes for you this semester, especially if you're a brand new instructor. If you're not teaching a course this semester, you can wait. You don't have to sign up right now. We have this course available for this academic year and hopefully in the future. But if you know you're going to be teaching in the fall, but you're not teaching right now, you might wait, survive this semester as a student. And then at the end of the semester, you can sign up for our AQ course, and then you can take that course during the summer when things aren't so busy with your academic courses. If you're interested in the AQ course, there's a QR code on the screen. You can scan it and sign up for the course right there. Or again, you can email me directly and I will help you get signed up for that course. So again, we offer a lot of different opportunities to help you learn more about teaching. And sometimes when we learn more about teaching, we also learn more about learning, right? So we support both the student side and the instructor side of grad students. Now, I have to mention one other thing, and this is not an offering that is specifically a CTL offering. This is an offering that we have joined with the Office of International Programs because we saw this as a need and we wanted to support students who may need additional English language support. So often it is the case, I will tell you, I am a second language learner of Spanish, and when I was younger, I went and lived in a Spanish-speaking country, and when I first arrived, it was just so difficult to get used to speaking Spanish all the time. And we sometimes see that international students, when we first arrive to the US, it's hard to get used to speaking in English all the time. And sometimes we struggle with our pronunciation or our grammar or other things. So this is nothing that is required, but you can self-select into this course that offers you self-paced learning and supports your English. So again, there's a QR code on the screen. It will take you directly to Carnegie Speech, which is the company that offers this program for us. And it will just give you additional ways to continue to improve your English fluency if that is something that you feel you need. So again, we offer Brightspace support. We offer many opportunities to improve your instructional practices, and of course, we can't forget that English language support is available to you if that is something that you need. So I know I'm not there to ask you to answer any questions you have, but if you do have questions, I welcome you emailing me. Again, my email is cynthia.kilpatrick@sfasu.edu. Or I am in Steen Library. I'm up on the second floor. That's where the Center for Teaching and Learning is. And my office is 213A, and I'm here a lot. So feel free to just come by my office and let's talk. Let me meet you, and you can talk to me about what your particular needs or interests are in terms of teaching and learning. I'm also available at extension 4203, so you can call me from any campus phone. So thank you so much for listening. I wish you absolutely the very, very best as you join the graduate program of choice here at SFA. Hope to see you soon. Axum.
All right, now we will have Dr. Gladys telling us about the Archer Fellowship, a wonderful program. Take it away, Dr. Gladys. Dr. Gladys, are you there?
I'm sorry, I didn't realize I was still muted. Okay.
No worries at
Again,
all.
I'm Dr. Stephen Galatis from the Department of Government and Sociology, and I also serve as the campus coordinator for the Archer Fellowship Program. I'd like to thank Darius and Dr. Lane and Mickey for the opportunity to welcome you to SFA and talk about this amazing program. The Archer Fellowship Program is offered by the Archer Center of the University of Texas System. So this is one of the advantages we have of being part of the UT system. This was created through an endowment from former U.S. Congressman Bill Archer, who served 7 years in the U.S. House of Representatives. And while he was there, he recognized that there were many universities across the country that had opportunities to bring students from across their campuses to Washington, D.C. to get a hands-on experience learning about how our federal government works, understanding policy implications, because all of our jobs and careers and majors and focuses and degree programs and pathways are going to be impacted at some point by national government policy, laws, and politics. And so he created this program, and they launched it at UT in Austin and also then UT Dallas. And it eventually expanded across all now 9 academic institutions of the UT system, as well as the medical campuses for graduate programs. As an aside here, we're about to celebrate our 25th anniversary. This is the 25th anniversary year of the launching of the Archer Fellowship Program. So it's an exciting time for me to share this program with you. Okay, so a little more about it. Darius, if you could move on to the next slide for me, please. Thank you. Okay, so a little bit about the program. There's 3 components to the program. One is a learning program where you are a learning component where you do take classes in Washington, D.C. Those are offered through UT Dallas, and we mirror those classes here at the SFA campus, so you're considered in residence at SFA. For the graduate program, that is 9 hours of coursework. And although these courses come into SFA as a public administration class, I am working with campus coordinators for graduate, I'm working with the coordinators of graduate degree programs across this campus to make sure that those hours are fitting into your degree program. So that the hours that you take there are going to work on your degree. There's a second component, which is living, and that is you live in Washington, D.C. with graduate students from across the UT system. You do have, as a graduate student, an opportunity to find housing on your own, but Washington, D.C. is very expensive. And so, this gives you an opportunity to stay in D.C. On an affordable cost for living. Obviously, if you have a family that you want to bring with you, significant others, that's a little bit different issue. So that housing option is mostly for people who will be there by themselves. You also then intern with a federal government agency, a member of Congress, the Supreme Court, the executive branch, and various executive branch agencies from the Department of the Interior to obviously the State Department, CIA, Department of Agriculture, but also to other agencies in the DC area, like the Smithsonian Museums, the now Kennedy Trump Center for the Performing Arts, and many of the advocacy groups, organized interest groups, from the American Nursing Association to media outlets as well, Al Jazeera, Fox, NBC, ABC, and beyond. So there's so many opportunities there. And by the way, many of these internships are paid internships. So you're not only there for your duration during your Archer Fellowship, but you're also getting paid to be part of these internships. Now, that's not guaranteed, but many of them are. Okay, Darius, if we could hit the next slide. All right. So what are the eligibility requirements? Well, first and foremost, you do have to be enrolled in a degree program at a UT system institution. That also means you've completed at least 9 hours of graduate work here at SFA, and you need a GPA of 3.0 or higher. Those are the first couple of requirements that are critical. And that's why we need that GPA in-house before you actually apply. Hang on just a second. There we go. Okay. You also have to have previous professional career or internship experience. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that in just a minute or two as well. We're also looking for service and leadership on campus and the wider community, as well as your policy focus. And that policy focus does have to be associated with national government policy. So if you are interested in things that are more associated with state government or local policies, that's the Archer Fellowship program is not for you. There may be some other programs that you can tap into for those. So this is really about that national policy focus. Now, I will tell you, Darius, if you can roll over to the next one for us as well. Couple of things. These are competitive across the entire UT system. And because of that, that competitiveness, SFA is not guaranteed any particular number of slots. There is an online application process, so you actually go do this. And I want you to go ahead and note if you're interested in this program, and I hope all of you are, graduate applications are due around November 1st of every year for the following summer. So the Graduate Archer program is a summer program. So we have already completed selection for summer of 2026. In November of 2026, we will begin selection for summer of 2027. So that's something else you want to take in mind is, as an incoming new graduate student, if you're wanting to be an Archer Fellow, then you need to start thinking about, okay, what does my degree plan look like? What is the programmatically, which summer would be the best for me to participate? Obviously, since you're starting your program here in January, you're going to have at least a semester behind you, and really almost 2 semesters by the time you would be applying, maybe next November. So you do want to start thinking strategically about when would be the summer that I would do a Graduate Archer Fellowship. There is an undergraduate program as well. Those are during the long semesters, and their cycle of application and selection is a little bit different. If you apply and you are selected for an interview, semifinalists are offered an on-campus in-person interview, and then the final selection is made. Now, usually those are made by about December 15th. So you would know by, certainly by the winter break, whether or not that next summer you would be an Archer Fellow. There are somewhere between 36 and 40 Archer Fellows that are selected across the UT system. And we are expecting to place 2 or 3 per year, but this is where I want to pause for just a minute and say the program had more applications this past year than they've ever seen. the number of graduate applicants went up by about 40%. We did have 3 applicants from SFA, 3 very, very well qualified applicants. But unfortunately, because of the competition, we only had 1 student selected for next summer's Graduate Archer Fellowship Program. I'm proud to announce that Clayton Kent from the Masters in National Security Studies program will be going to Washington, D.C. this summer as SFA's Archer Fellow. Now, by the way, if this had been a year or 2 ago, we might have placed 2 or all 3 of our students in the Archer Fellow program. They were that good. They were that competitive. But one of the things I would recommend for you is if you are interested in this program, please get in touch with me earlier. I'll talk about that in just a minute, sooner rather than later. Darius, go ahead and let's talk about cost. I'm sure you are concerned about that. So the tuition and fees for this program is $3,900. That is a flat rate for all 9 credit hours, which is significantly less than your actual tuition and fees. In addition, to cover that cost for you, Dr. Barkley, our provost and vice president for academic affairs, continuing the support that this institution has given to our graduate Archer fellows from his predecessors in that position, is providing a scholarship of $3,900 to cover your tuition and fees. So you don't even have to pay that. You don't even have to worry about that. The provost gives that scholarship. It goes onto your account with financial aid and student business services. And then we pay that to UT Dallas, who has the technical accrediting for the Archer Fellowship Program for the entire UT system. Housing costs are estimated to be about $5,000 if you live in Archer housing. Whether you live in Archer housing or not, this is financially aid eligible. So all of your scholarships, your financial aid, any assistance that you have from the university should be applicable to that housing cost. There's also an additional about $5,000 in living expenses that the Archer Center does estimate. That includes your travel to and from DC, as well as your food, eating out, other expenses that you would incur normally as you live anywhere. Also, on top of this, which is not really mentioned, is your in Washington, D.C. transportation is actually going to be covered by the Archer Center if you are using the Washington, D.C. Metro bus or Metro rail system. The generosity of former Archer alumni has created an endowment fund that is providing about a $2,000 Metro card that allows you to use the bus and subway system, the Metro rail system. So you're not even having to pay for your internal within Washington, D.C. transportation. So it's an amazing, absolutely amazing program. Darius, if you'll go ahead and move to the next screen then. If you want additional information, you can type into your favorite search browser the Archer Center UT system to gather information. And you can also, we have an internal site for the Archer Fellowship Program here at SFA. That website is up and there on the slide for you. Please contact me if you're interested in this program as soon as you want. As the campus coordinator, my job is to be an advocate for our Archer Fellows, to do outreach, but also to meet with you and make sure that you're going to be a great candidate for the Archer Fellowship Program. You can also reach me by archerfellow@sfasu.edu. And thank you for your time today to learn more about this exciting program.
Thank you for sharing that with us, Dr. Gladys. I really appreciate you for being here today.
Thank you, Darius. I appreciate it.
Darius, you're muted.
Thank you. We also had the Career Center, who unfortunately were not able to be here in person today, but they sent us some slides and some information, and I'm just going to go ahead and read that for you all. The Career Center at Stephen F. Austin State University is here to empower both students and alumni throughout their professional journeys. Scan the QR code on the screen now to claim your Handshake account and access free professional resources. You will need to log in with your MySFA credentials. We recommend bookmarking the website for easy access in the future. The first time you log into Handshake, there will be basic setup questions you will need to answer. Some services of note are one-on-one career coaching, both in person or virtual, where you can discuss the job search, both part-time and full-time, and exploring your major, etc. Number two, virtual and in-person professional document mock interview resources. This includes curriculum vitae, resumes, cover letters, and personal statement assistance. Career closet access, where you can check out free professional clothes, events such as workshops, career fairs, and more. Scan the QR code on the screen now to claim your Handshake account and access free professional resources. Graduate student tips, how to optimize your professional career at Stephen F. Austin. Number one, be intentional about career exploration and gaining experiences. Life gets busy, especially in grad school. Be proactive instead of reactive. Ask yourself, what experiences am I going to set up for myself to ensure my success? Some examples are GA-ships, internships, informational interviews, job shadowing, research, teaching, tutoring, guest lecturing, conferences, conference participation, etc. Number two, building skills beyond your coursework. Employers are hiring for more than technical skills. Data shows all employers are needing candidates with skills in career and self-development, communication, leadership, critical thinking, teamwork, technology, and professionalism. Your job, how are you going to build these skills? How are you going to communicate these skills? Number three, grow your network. Grow your network. Peers, faculty, staff, and alumni are all great starting places. Number four, know how to translate your work for non-academics. Practice explaining your knowledge and research to those outside of your field. Uh-oh, I did it again. And finally, use the Career Center more than once. So you'll want to regularly check with the Career Center because they offer so many different resources and conferences and the like. So that is the information that the Career Center wanted to share with you. For me, I wanted to thank you all for being here today. I appreciate your attention during our orientation. And in closing, I'm going to leave you with Dr. Lane, who's going to close us out.
All right, thank you, Darius. And thanks to everyone for staying on and for hearing some of this information. We know there's a lot as you're getting started with your graduate studies. We always have discussions about what to share. What do you need to know right now in this moment? What do you need to know as you get a little bit further down? And so we've tried to find a little bit of balance in that, but I know you're going to have additional questions as you get a little bit further into your studies. So just a couple of things to make you aware of as you move forward. One is that in MySFA, we do have a graduate student page there. So please use that and check that so that you can see what's going on. You will receive also, as we go through the spring semester, some different communications from us about different programs that will be running this spring, different opportunities for you as a graduate student. And so just be on the lookout for those. We want to make sure that you have lots of opportunities to be connected, to be engaged, to support your career. We're starting a couple of other things, services that just want to make you aware of. Again, we'll send out more information as we go forward. But this spring, we're actually piloting a program with UT Tyler, one of our other UT system partners. It is a research consulting center. And so there will be opportunities, whether you're a student or faculty or staff, it doesn't really matter. You will have the opportunity to go book online appointments with statistics and research methodology consultants. So as I share that with you, because all of you are going to engage in some kind of project as you're moving forward. And so if that's something that might be helpful to you as you get further in that process, just know that there are some consulting services to help you in that process, in addition to all the library resources and other things that are out there. Again, we are really excited to have you here at SFA. We hope that this is a really positive moment and step for you. I know it's a big commitment, but we also think I think it's an exciting time. I think that this is usually where you are making something to either advance your career or to change careers. And this is usually a unique opportunity to take the next step in whatever is in your journey. And so we're excited to share that with you and to support you along the way. So welcome again to SFA. As we've said multiple times, and we'll say it again, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We really are here to help you, and making sure that you have everything you need is really important to us. So I don't know if I'm missing anything else, Darius or Mickey or Mackenzie, but I certainly want to give you the opportunity to jump in here if there's something that maybe I've missed.
No, I think that's it. Thank you so much, Dr. Lane. Thank you all for being here, and Axum Jacks.
Thank you all.